Dragon Ball Sparking Zero continues the Budokai Tenkaichi series, and we love it. Frankly, it's awesome the series is back, but there is plenty of stuff both the new and returning player will not know immediately. So, hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, we've compiled 10 things Dragon Ball Sparking Zero doesn't tell you. Starting off with number 10, how to get the Dragon Balls. One of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's most mysterious mechanics is actually, well, the Dragon Balls. There are 3 different dragons to summon with their own set of Dragon Balls to collect, but there's no real information about finding these things. There's no dragon radar to help hunt them down, so here's the next best thing. The game does give you a few Dragon Balls just by playing it. You can get a complete set of Super Dragon Balls by completing all of Goku's episode battles, and another set from completing all of the Future Trunks battles. You can also get a full set of regular Dragon Balls by doing a bunch of Zen-O's orders, and more easily, Witz's wishes, which is impossible to say. I'll be merciful and not include the 6 takes that it took to say those words next to each other, but those are basic sets of challenges that you can look up. That's the straightforward way to get them, but the game also drops Dragon Balls rarely after completing regular battles. The chances of one dropping are pretty low, and what kind of ball you get is completely random. Sometimes you get the regular Shenron ones, sometimes you get the Namekian Dragon Balls, blah blah blah. So the best way to get these things is to grind them out in regular battles, which is going to take a while, but there is a way to speed the whole process up. First, pick the World Tournament stage and make sure that Ring Out Victory is set to on. Then pick somebody with a powerful knockback ability like Gogeta. I'm sorry I said Gogeta, guys. It's just the way I've said it for 30 years. That guy's got Stardust Breaker. Next, equip the ability Rising Fighting Spirit, which you get that item at the store. It's cheap, not a problem to get. This will make it so you start off with enough energy to use your special ability right at the start of the match. So pick an opponent that can't fly, like Mr. Satan. I'm sorry, I said that in a way that reminded me of Mr. Garrison. Hey, just pick an opponent like Mr. Satan. Anyway, I'm just going to comment on every single time I pronounce something weird because that's the way I say it. And it is your fault, commenters. Or maybe you like that, so if so, good job. Hopefully the jokes will be good. So anyway, get up in Mr. Satan's face and use the Stardust Breaker and the match is over. Now just keep doing that over and over and you'll eventually get some Dragon Balls. It's not the most convenient method, but it's better than grinding out hundreds of actual matches, which could take 2 or 3 times as long. If you really want those Dragon Balls, this method is easily the fastest way to do it. At number 9, what does summoning actually do? With a complete set, you can summon one of the 3 dragons, and depending on which one you get, there will be a different selection of wishes that they'll grant you. With the classic dragon, Shenron, you can ask for Zenny, which is the game's currency, and he'll give you 300,000, which you can use to increase your player level, you can unlock a few titles, and a free outfit. There's also a secret wish he'll grant that only becomes available after you failed an episode battle. You can get an item called the Dragon Orb that lets you complete any episode battle instantly, including the secondary objective. The Namekian Dragon Purunga is special because they'll grant 3 wishes instead of just 1, but otherwise, same rewards as Shenron. The 3rd dragon, Super Shenron, has the hardest Dragon Balls to get, but they obviously give you the best rewards. You get 1,000,000 Zenny if you ask for money. You can get some powerful ability items, and you can also unlock 2 secret characters, Goku Black or Fused Zamasu. One important thing to remember is that on the wish screen, you can press R1 or L1 to cycle pages, so there are more wishes that can be easily missed. At number 8, how to school any AI opponent. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero can be surprisingly difficult at times. The AI can be pretty relentless and often doesn't play fair, so don't play fair back at them, right? If they can't take the heat, they should stay out of the kitchen with that nonsense. Now, this isn't a total silver bullet or anything, especially if you don't already know the basics of gameplay. This won't be a substitute for understanding the game, so I suggest anyone starting out goes through the provided tutorials first before jumping to the rest of the game, but there's a pretty basic strategy I found to be pretty dang effective against most AI opponents. The basic gist: start a battle, immediately go into sparking mode. You can hold down R2 until your energy meter starts to glow. Now that you're in sparking mode, your attacks are much faster. Now you can do a powerful ultimate move, but that move can be used at any point as long as sparking mode is active, so don't use it right away. Instead, do a Dragon Dash to immediately get behind your opponent. This is done by pressing R2 and X twice and then wail on them to do a big combo. The important thing here is to finish the combo by pressing down plus, triangle, or Y, depending on what platform, to slam the enemy into the ground. That makes them an easy target for the ultimate ability, and that's the time to use it. If they're still alive, just rinse and repeat, and most fights will be over in no time.
Going all out! Yeah. I'll make you regret everything you've done.
And number 7, how to reach the sparking episodes. During the episode battles mode, the game gives you choices that can affect how the story will play out, but these don't usually affect the outcome much. You just get back on the main path eventually. This isn't always the case, though. Sometimes by making certain choices and then completing a fight's secondary objective, you can reach these special sparking episodes, which are optional fights that takes the character story in a entirely new, non-canonical direction. They can be tough to unlock, and explaining how every single character's sparking episode is found, it would take forever, so I'm just going to tell you how Goku's works. Or maybe work. I'm not sure about the grammar on that one. He's got multiple though, so yeah, that should give you a pretty decent idea. The first is unlocked very early and against the battle with Raditz after teaming up with Piccolo. The important thing here is you need to beat him very fast. Like, use that AI cheese trick I was just talking about. Finish him off as quickly as possible. And when I say quick, I mean very, very fast. Otherwise, you'll just trigger the usual ending to the fight. But if you manage to beat down Raditz fast enough, he'll go down and Goku will actually survive the fight. So the story goes in a totally new direction from here.
Now I'll teach you how a real warrior should act.
Say your prayers.
What is he?
The hell?
Special beam cannon!
Ah! Faster! Damn it! Beaten by a filthy maggot!
The second sparking episode from Goku also involves Raditz, but it only works if you choose to go it alone after the start. The secret win condition is exactly the same as the other. You beat him as fast as possible, but when you do it this way, you go down an even longer optional path. And it's obviously pretty different based on, Goku doesn't croak and all.
What?
Master Roshi!
Now, Piccolo! End it!
Special beam cannon!
How could I have been beaten by such a small fry?
And number 6 is how to unlock every character. A big chunk of the available cast starts off locked, and in order to play as them, you have to, and this is going to surprise you, unlock them. Nice save, Falcon. You walked that sentence right into a corner and then found a way. Anyway, getting every character isn't quite as painful as it appears at first. Every single character in the game has some kind of unlock condition. Most of them are obtained by playing through the episode battle mode, playing the bonus battles, and completing all of the pre-made tournaments once. If you do that, you'll have basically the entire cast unlocked except for the 2 guys you get from summoning Super Shenron. There's a few guys where you need to complete challenges to unlock them, but only a few. There's still a whole lot of game you have to play to unlock everyone, so if you don't want to bother with that, just buy them from the shop. Also, you can purchase every single unlockable character in the game through the shop, including the ones that you get from summoning Super Shenron. Literally every character in the game can simply be purchased for Zenny instead of actually unlocking them. In total, it's going to cost $3,390,000 to unlock all of them, which sounds like a lot, but it's not really actually unreasonable considering how much Zenny the game actually throws at you, which is a pretty fair amount. The only limiting factor is your player level. Some characters start off purchasable at level 1, some can only be purchased when you get to 10, and the rarest characters need you to be 20 to get them. Raising player level is just something that happens naturally as you play through a game. It doesn't take all that long to get to 10 either. Getting to 20 is going to take a while, but it's still not that hard. And at that point, you'll have more than enough cash to buy whoever you want.
Get out of my way! There you are! It's time for a bloodbath!
And number 5 is how to build a combo. The game's tutorial is pretty thorough, but there's one aspect of the game that's not super clear, and that's how to keep a combo going. Notice how the AI is able to keep attacking you for these endless strings before sending you flying. When you try to use combos, they just get knocked back almost immediately. There's a reason for that. It's not all that clear, though, when you're trying to play the game. Here's the big trick. You can't chain the same combo attack more than twice because that will lead to a knockback rather than a stun state. So if you do the same square, square, triangle move twice in a row, the combo is going to end. But if you chain a series of different combos, alternating your finishing move every time, you can keep hitting your opponent for a lot longer. The tricky part here is actually timing your combos so you're not just mashing up basic attacks and forgetting when to press triangle so the combo keeps repeating. Like, go into training and get some practice in. Don't mask the buttons, but think about what you're doing and try to alternate moves. That's going to make combos significantly more effective and do a lot more damage. At number 4, don't just sit there while comboing. One easy trap to fall in Sparking Zero is just to dash straight into an opponent's face, mash the basic attack button over and over. Against a real player, they're going to anticipate that. I mean, every time. There's not going to be a time that they don't. And the AI is going to smash in the dirt most of the time, too. When you're comboing, you got to mix things up. And I don't just mean changing your combo strings. I mean, you need to actually move around while attacking, too. It's much smarter to use a quick string to engage than mix it up with a quick dodge to the left or right, put them off balance, and press the vanish button to teleport behind him. That kind of stuff works great. And vanish, it's an essential part of any combo. You need to use it early and often. Getting a combo against an opponent's back is also extremely powerful. They can't block it or counter it normally, so it's a lot of easy damage. The only way somebody can get out of a back combo is the revenge counter, but that costs precious skill points, so you're at an advantage. It's easy to think of this game as a regular fighter, but use the game's movement systems to your advantage, or just use them, period. Get around the enemy instead of trying to face tank them. It's almost always the better strategy to punch somebody from the back than the front, which sounds like mean, but like you're also in a fight and you're trying to win.
Sorry, you were wide open, so I just went for it.
And number 3, don't forget about ability items. Use them wherever possible. These are kind of annoying to have to shuffle through and attach to a character, but believe me, it's worth the few seconds of menu management because just a few of these things can make any of the game's battles a lot easier. Don't bother turning down the difficulty. Instead, just load up on the best ability items and slap them all on your character. Believe me, it's effective in all offline modes and some online ones, and it's just like, I mean, they give you powerful boosts that make it so you have more health, more starting energy, you do more damage, and they're fairly cheap to purchase in the store, and there's not really a downside to them at all. They're not consumables, so you can use them as often as you want, and you can equip them on as many characters as you want, so there's literally no reason not to use them. At number 2, how to do a fusion dance. Transforming in Sparking Zero is easy. You just build up some skill points and hold up on the D-pad. At least for characters that can do it. You might, be a little disappointed if you don't understand that distinction. But it's pretty obvious what transformations are available. The game tells you when you're selecting a character what they change into, so I don't think you're going to end up in that situation. Fusions are a little more complicated, though, but they work more or less the same way. You just take two characters who have fused together in the anime, like Goku or Vegeta, or Goten and Trunks, and you put them on the same team. Here comes the awkward part, though. To do a fusion, you have to hold up to open the transformation menu, but now you have to press R1 to change tabs and open up the fusion menu. This is where you pick a character to fuse. The last part is where I kept getting tripped up. Just remember, you got to press R1 to actually view possible fusions. I forgot this at least twice while trying to do fusions. I got to the menu and I was like, what did that do? Why no fusion? You press R1.
Come on, Goten! Fusion! Ha! Super hero!
Also important to keep in mind, though, is that fusion characters need to be variants that actually fused in the anime. So you can't pick early Goku or Vegeta for this because they can't fuse. Only Goku from the end of Z can fuse. Same with Vegeta. So is there any benefit to fusing? Not really. It's mostly, I would say, in the game because it's cool. It can serve a useful function for any team-based battles that use points. Rather than picking Gogeta or some other fused character for the team, it is hard to say Gogeta for me. Just use Vegeta and Goku. You basically get a third character for free. Transformations work the same way. They cost some time and skill points, but starting with an untransformed character is cheaper than starting with an Ultra Instinct Goku right from the start.
I'm not gonna go easy.
And finally, at number 1, the best way to grind for money. Sometimes you just want to get a lot of cash quick, and there is an easy way to do it. And what makes it even better is that I've already explained to you how to do it. I started the list off explaining how to grind for Dragon Balls, and also that gets you lots of money. It's probably the easiest way to do it, in fact. The amount you get for completing a single match is pathetic, like 100 Zenny might as well be nothing in this game. But there's other rewards for completing matches. Every time you finish a match, all the characters on your team gain proficiency. That by itself doesn't do anything, but every time you increase a character's proficiency level to 1, 4, and 7, you get a big cash reward. So the trick here is to use Gogeta or some... It really is Gogeta to me, even though, yes, I've heard it said correctly in the anime. Decades-long habits are hard to break, folks. Anyway, use somebody like that to get quick knockout victories in fights. Then fill out the rest of your team with characters you want to increase proficiency with. It takes significantly longer to get from 4 to 7 than it does from 1 to 4. So don't just stick with the same 4 guys. Mix it up after a while. There's tons of characters in this game, so that's a whole lot of money for character proficiencies. Just keep winning matches in seconds and swapping out characters once in a while, and you'll have more Zenny than you ever really need. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. And I'll see you next time right here on gameranx.